So yesterday we talked about four strategies for you to be able to have the best or the most successful apprenticeship ever. And just going back to these points, I'm just gonna review them like really fast. So we said that the first point is you need to value learning over money because in the long term, that's what's gonna be the most valuable for you. Money, you can expend it, but the things that you learn, you cannot lose them. It's like learning how to learn bicycle. Like the old saying goes, like once you learn a bicycle, you know how to learn a bicycle, you know how to ride a bicycle. Teach a man how to fish, don't give him the fish. It's like all the wisdom that everybody knows, but we tend to forget about it. But money is still important in this day and age. Anyway, the second point was keep expanding your horizons, always discover new things, leverage your current resources to keep on scaling yourself up, to keep on learning, to keep on acquiring new capitals like financial, social, whatever type of capital might be important to you. Number three, revert to a feeling of inferiority, putting yourself in a fragile situation where maybe your life might be in danger. It doesn't have to be that case, but that could prompt you to become a better person by pushing you to improve yourself so that you increase your chances of survival. So yeah, just exposing your weaknesses to the world and the universe. And number four, and the last point I covered yesterday was to trust the process. And what I meant by that was you need a plan, you need a strategy on how you can tackle your problems, on how you can grow as a person. If you just go there without a plan or a strategy, you'll feel lost, and most of the times you'll grow impatient and frustrated, and you will quit completely. So always have a path that you want to follow, like a map, a roadmap of how you can go from the current position to your target position. And that journey requires a strategy and a plan for you to go through it. Okay, so today there are four more points that are covered in the book, The Mastery by Robert Greene, on how you can have the best apprenticeship possible so you can allow yourself to grow as a professional, as a person, or as any identity that you would like to be, pretty much. So starting off with the first point. So number 5 in this case would be to move toward resistance and pain. In video games, I think I mentioned before that I play video games, not quite a lot as I used to, but I still do every once in a while, especially with friends. But anyway, in video games, there's this old saying that you know that you're making progress in a game when you meet new enemies or new opponents to fight. And it kind of, like when I read this chapter, it kind of remind me of that saying or meme, or whatever it is. Because you cannot make progress, or in order for you to make progress, you don't go through this path of non-resistance. You always meet resistance, either from the outside, but most often it's from the inside. It's very hard for you to improve yourself, and I think that a lot of people, if not everyone, are very aware of that. Within our psychology, within our biology, our beings try to conserve as much energy as possible. For you to wake up early, for you to keep on moving during the day, for you to keep on morphing yourself constantly, for you to be able to continue to grow, to improve yourself, that's a painful process. It's like you taking a chisel. Like, there is a picture, if you find this online, it's like a picture of a man who's sculpting his own self. And I don't know if it's Socrates who said that, I forgot who said that. But the process is very painful to keep on transforming yourself. So you just have to be very aware of that. If you find yourself that you are getting no resistance, you find that your life is very easy, there is no difficulties, probably that's a red flag that you have so much potential that is still unused. And the definition of potential is that the amount of energy that was not expended yet. So you have all this energy that is in your reserves that you are not using and you did not use yet. So you need to expend that energy completely for you to realize what and what not of what you are able to do or accomplish and what you are not able to accomplish. That's in the process of knowing yourself. So that was like the first point today, or point number 5 in the 8 points that Robert Greene has depicted in his book, which was move towards resistance and pain. So moving on. The 6th point, or the second point today, is going to be to be an apprentice yourself in failure. Learn from your mistakes. Again, so these are like old wisdoms, or like that I think all of us have heard before. You need to learn from your mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Do them. The sooner that you fail, the sooner that you are able to make mistakes and realize the mistakes. That's like the most important. Realize your shortcomings. That's going to help you to grow as a person. That's going to be the price to pay for the lesson. Because life itself is your greatest teacher. It is your greatest mentor. And by that, I don't mean that you just live as a persona is going to punish you and give you hell, whatever it is. But mostly you as a person interacting with your environment. Through that interaction, you'll be able to learn how to navigate that very environment itself. So don't be afraid to act and just embrace what's coming to you with open arms. That ties up, in my opinion, that ties up very well with the 3rd point, which is it was the 3rd point, like reverting to a feeling of inferiority. Because if you keep a shell around you, like this armor, and you don't expose yourself to life, you don't experience life itself, you don't experience the thing that you need to experience for you to grow as a person, as a professional, you will not be able to grow. And I'm going to skip number 7 in the book. I'm going to go directly to number 8, because I think number 8 ties up very well with number 6. So number 8 is about advancing through trial and error. Again, it's about this whole process of learning from your own mistakes. And the way I understand this section of the chapter, or this point itself, is that for you to be able to navigate through life, it's like navigating as a blind man. The very first time you go through a terrain that you're not familiar with, maybe you're gonna hit your toe against the corner of a table or drop a vase, whatever it is. You're gonna make like some small accident, hopefully small. But like sometimes you might make like some big mistakes, and like $1 million vase, you drop it and shatter it. You're gonna pay for it, I think. But the idea is this: you need to go through life by making small bets. Throw those small bets, whether they're winning bets or losing bets. If they're losing bets, as we said, number 6, you need to learn what went wrong. Like in the army, there's this thing called AAR, after action review. And pretty much the after action review is just to figure out, pretty much you ask 3 questions. What went well? What went wrong? And what can we learn from the experience? Or what can we do about the things that went wrong? What can we learn from them? And how can we improve the process? So through these small bets, you can go through the same process again of refining yourself. That's in its own a feedback that life or like your environment provides to you. Because if something doesn't work, that means the process is flawed. There is a problem. There is something is wrong. Your model is not correct, because your action went against, the results of your actions went against your predictions. So the sooner you realize that, so that's why I wanted to tie it up with number 6. So the sooner you realize the shortcomings you have, the better you'll be able to navigate your environment. And in case your action succeeds, then you find a path. It's like you embody the persona of a body of war. water goes through the path of least resistance. It meets resistance in its path, but it keeps on like discovering its environment. It tries on the left, tries on the right, tries like it goes always down like with the gravity. But as it goes down or is pulled by whatever force it's pulled by, it navigates the environment accordingly. As it finds resistance, it tries to find like a new path and it follows a new path. So just picture that in your mind, like a body of water. I don't know if Bruce Lee, he was mentioned something like that. Like embodying the persona of a body of water, how you shape yourself according to your environments. And so then I'm gonna step back to what was number 7 in the book and the number 8 for us today. And pretty much is about combining the how and the what. That's like one thing I don't like about this book is sometimes it feels for me, it tries to be like very smart about the titles it chooses for its sections. Like combining the what and the how, or combining the how and the what. I mean, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Probably some of you guys might mean something in like instantly clicks, but for me, like where I took away from this section was that you should pierce through the appearance of things and go to their essence. Just like learn how they work on top of what they are. So just like knowing the processes and like all the elements that constitute the identity of the object of whatever thing, like whatever, what do you call it? Concepts maybe. Like everything that you study, you need to learn how it works. Probably like we see like people that are passionate about certain topics, they do embody this kind of persona. Is that they don't like, for example, for a computer, they don't just like a computer is like, oh cool, it has buttons, it has lights, it has a screen with nice shapes and colors. They go much deeper. It's like for example in the UI, you say, how is this shape rendered in the screen? What are all the processes? When I click a button, like how does it know my, for example, my geolocation? What are like all the steps in the process? How does it work? And I think that's a very important quality to have, especially if you want to be a professional in what you do, not just an amateur. An amateur can be mesmerized by certain things in life. It's like, oh, that's really nice. Like when you go to a museum, you see a painting, for example. If you're an amateur of painting, I mean, amateur from French means like you love something, aimer. So you just admire it, you love it, you look at it, it's like, that looks pretty good. I like it. But you don't know why or how it makes you feel good, makes you admiring or admire the painting. And that's what makes painters or professional painters, not just amateurs. They went so deep in their subject, they cannot be called amateurs anymore. They acquired that professional touch of making things work the way how they want them to work. So if they want you to feel disgust or fear or any other feelings, a professional artist will be able to make you feel that because he knows how to depict those feelings or how to trigger those feelings in your mind. So those were the 8 points, like including the previous video. Those were the 8 strategies that you can incorporate in your apprenticeship in order to take the most advantage of your apprenticeship. And again, apprenticeship does not have to be this very specific or the line period of time in your life where you think, okay, now I am in apprenticeship mode, now I'm not in apprenticeship mode, I am in wherever other mode that you might discover later on, but probably I'm calling myself a master. Even masters, they don't consider themselves masters. They keep on continuously learning, adapting, and presenting their ideas to get feedback so that they can refine the whole process again and restart from point A or from the very beginning. It's like a Monopoly board or whatever, like a game board. You always go around. You always go through the very first square and you collect your $200. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.